Letting go of denial. A friend of mine recently complained that her adult college-age daughter did not behave in Hawaii on the trip that her parents paid for as they hoped she would behave. In other words, there was a lot of drinking, a lot of partying, a lot of irresponsible overspending of money. And my friend was going on and on about how disappointed she was. And yet I knew the background to what this friend's daughter typically did. She did the same thing at home. She was at a stage in her life where she was partying, where she wasn't super responsible, where she would overspend money. And so I looked at this and I thought, this is typical for all of us. When we don't want to deal with the truth about something, we pretend it's not there. We deny it. And yet we put ourselves into situations where we hope that something is different and it isn't, and then we're shocked and we're upset because we don't understand. And yet the truth was there all the time for us to see, and we just weren't able or willing to do that. So denial is a protective mechanism. It's like a cushion to soften the landing when you fall. So when you're first injured physically, your body puts in it actually decreases the pain, puts you into shock where you don't feel all of the pain because it's overwhelming. Well, that happens to us emotionally too. When there are things that happen that are painful and we don't want to deal with them, we go into a place of denial. This is healthy for a short time. This is not healthy for a permanent place to stay, because if you permanently deny reality, it's going to end up causing you a lot of problems. So what are some of the things that you can do to actually let go of denial? Well, the first one is to identify why you are in denial. Now, you're saying, how can I do that if I don't know I'm in denial? Well, sometimes people tell you that you're in denial. Sometimes people are telling you the truth and you don't want to see it, or there's a little nudge there from the Lord or from somebody who's saying, hello, reality, and you can feel yourself pushing it away. You can feel yourself fighting not to deal with reality. Your mind is arguing. You're saying, I see this person doing this, and you're saying things like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a problem. Oh, it's just, you're making excuses. You're making excuses for why your daughter is doing that. And it's just normal partying, and it's not that bad. And that DUI was just because her friend didn't give her a ride like she was supposed to. You start making excuses. All of those are signs that you're in denial. So identify why. Is it painful? Is it just incredibly painful? Do you feel like a failure? Are you afraid to admit it? Are you fearful that you're going to lose the person? Is it too overwhelming? Do you feel too guilty? Do you not want to admit that your spouse is an alcoholic? Because if you do that, then you've got to feel like you feel that you'll have to say, oh, it's my fault that I married this person, and that's why my kids are being hurt by this. I mean, you got to figure out what's going on. Why? Why are you afraid to do it? Then you need to expose yourself to the facts to see the evidence. Be open to it. Okay? Look at the truth. Check to see what's going on. If somebody's spending too much money, if there's hidden accounts you think, or you're kind of have the awareness that maybe your child or a spouse is into pornography, look. Find it out. You are entitled to know the truth about whatever's going on. Expose yourself to the facts. Pay attention to how much that person is drinking. Look at the history. Go to a counselor and lay it out on the table. This is what's gone on. What does this mean? And what am I minimizing this when I shouldn't be? Are these signs of drug abuse in my kid, and I'm just wanting to believe that this kid is a good kid? What do you think? Okay, so expose yourself to the facts. Then 3 is ask God to show you what you need to know in order to accept the truth. And this is a prayer that God answers. I have had it happen to me many, many, many times. Had it happen to other people. When you really need to know, you can pray and say, God, in your timing, show me how to see the truth, and things will come up. You will find out what's going on, but you've got to ask and be open to it first. And then you've got to embrace the principle that the truth will set you free, even though it's painful. It's painful to admit the truth when it's not a fun truth, but it will set you free. You know that scripture in John 8:32 where Jesus said, "Then you will know the truth and the truth will set you free." Embrace that. Recognize it. Even though you got to go through that bumpy, painful part of that path to where you experience freedom on the other side, it is worth it, okay? So I hope this helps you in getting past your denial. Denial, like I said, is it's a cushion temporarily. It's not a place for you to land permanently. So thank you for watching this video on Change My Relationship.